Hello guys, this is Ashish for Technospot.Net and we have HP NVX2 for review, and in this video I'll talk a bit about what this tablet, ultrabook or notebook, whatever you want to say about it, is worth it, and help you decide if you want to actually buy it and what kind of users it may attract. I'm a kind of power user which do a lot of videos and graphics and a lot of software editing and all those stuff. And I really tested this laptop for or notepad, whatever, for a month, and I'll tell you why I'm telling it a laptop, notepad, whatever. So I use it for a month and I travel with it in different places with high-speed network and even conditions where I needed to edit the videos as soon as possible and upload it on YouTube and all the stuff. So I did almost spend 1 month for this, and I'll tell you step by step a bit about this tablet and notepad. So first let's talk about design and build. Now this laptop is not heavy, this tablet is not heavy, and it's well made. It's just aluminum or steel body, whatever you can say. It's a metal body which is done very well, so if you're carrying with one hand you won't have a problem. In fact, I can hold it with just one hand and I can carry it along with me. So the design and the curves and all are well done. It's very easy to hold this with single hand or even with the lid open and all those stuff. The curves are well done. So I'll give you just a few looks. So this is the screen part which you see here, and here you will see the camera. It's a 8 megapixel camera, the front camera. Then you have the volume buttons over here, so you don't have to actually use the software to control volume. Here you have the power button which you can use to lock or even shut down your Windows 8 PC. So yeah, it runs Windows 8 PC. So if you're looking for a HP laptop or something like mid-range, this one runs Windows 8 and it runs flawlessly without any problem. Now the back portion actually has nothing. There's no fan that makes it very close to an ultrabook. Now this is not an ultrabook because the power or the hardware configuration is not that great as ultrabooks do have. They're very powerful machines. So this falls between a laptop and an ultrabook, which has its portability, very good battery life and everything all packed in to give you a feeling of a laptop but still feel like an ultrabook. So let me open this part. So this is the screen. This is actually the keyboard, and it has a very big touchpad. Now touchpad has its own flaws, I'll tell you about that later. And the keyboard is not a complete keyboard, it's not a fully functional keyboard, but it uses a combination of function keys and all this stuff. So if I give you a closer look, you can take a look at the keyboard itself, and you can find two different layers of keyboard, one function top to another function. So you might have to get used to it a little. Something very cool about this is it can be used as a touch as a laptop, and it can also be used as a tablet. If you see this hinge here, this actually joins two parts. So basically this is convertible, so you can just take this off and the keyboard off and the screen off. So these are two parts. Now you can keep this off and use this as a tablet. It's almost like a 10-inch or something, and you can actually use it like a tablet. It has its keyboard and fully functional Windows 8 with all File Explorer and everything is there. So you can use this. You have a Windows button here, so if you want to switch between the modes, and you still get access to the volume knuckles and camera and the front camera, the rear camera, and you also have keyboards here. So if you want to use a keyboard, you really have a keyboard, and you can change your style between different different styles like pen and all can also be actually used. So the design and build quality and all are well done, and there are two parts of it. Let me talk about that battery stuff later. So overall I can use it as a media consumption device to watch movies or casual browsing, or I can just take the keyboard and let me There you go. I can just use it on a laptop. Okay, so let's talk about a bit of battery life. Very impressive. This as a combination works for like 7 to 8 hours for me without charging, without plugging in the cable. And the reason is because it's very, it consumes very less power. And there's another thing which I want to tell you is this: you have two batteries here, one which is here and the other one which is with the laptop. This is the reason why you can actually separate this out and still use it. And there's a battery right here also. So we can basically have two batteries inserted, and the order in which they are consumed is first it consumes the battery which is in your keyboard, and then it consumes the battery which is in your screen panel. So it makes sense, because if you run out of battery from here, you can still use it with your regular or virtual keyboard. But if you run out first from here, it's almost useless. So the battery life is very impressive. I've used it in all conditions, and like when I went to the Nokia UK event, and there also I'd used it for all day without charging, where I converted a bit of videos and all and uploaded it on YouTube on high Wi-Fi connectivity, and everything worked fine. And in fact, putting this together is also easy, like you have already seen. You just need to be careful about the latches here. So if you get them correctly, there you go, it connects very well. So these two form one panel with two batteries inside it. So if you're looking for a tablet which has a very impressive battery life, this is a very good ultrabook, or what do they call it? Call it a HP NVX2. So it has a very good battery life, 7 to 8 hours without fail with media consumption. And in fact, if you are doing regular browsing and all those, so no media consumptions, it can go for like 12 hours easy straight. Let's talk a bit about the hardware configuration before I jump in how to use it as a tablet and show you all the parts. Now this is 32-bit operating system, Windows 8. That means you cannot go more than 4 GB, and this sadly has only 2 GB of RAM. The second thing which might bug you around will be the processor, which is only ARM processor, 1.8 GHz processor. But honestly, it did the job well. I mean, it didn't shut down or didn't hang or something. It did my video editing on Camtasia and all done properly, but it took a longer time than what I was doing on my PC. My PC obviously has like 4 GB of RAM and a graphic processor also. I cannot compare it to that level, but overall in my experience, I have a Dell laptop too. So if I compare that and this, they're almost same, and this performed well. Now again, the Dell laptop configuration is like 4 years old. So you might find processing and everything a bit slow, but if I take it from a regular browsing point of view and regular application usage, you might not find it very, very slow. So that's what you should know about. And also I'd like to show you the ports and all. Now it has only 57 GB of hard disk space available for you, but luckily it has a micro SD slot over here, so you can put a SD card over here and expand your everything here. And the audio jack is here. So now everything, if you take consider from a tablet point of view, everything is right here, except the USB port. That's a good point actually. I just thought of it. So you have audio jack, and then you have micro SD. So at least you might not be able to connect to USB, but you can, if you have all the data on your hard disk and SD slot, this will work as a great tablet. And if I take up the keyboard part, now you have SDMI and USB port here. There's one USB port here. This is the power jacket, so you can charge your laptop. And what else do we have? That's it, I guess. And you have audio jack here also. So you can, if you want to use the audio jack which is on tablet, you can use that, or you can use this one, any of these. So that was about the hardware. One thing you should know about the front camera is this is a full SD camera. So when you go for a SD call or the video calls and all, it works really, really well. The quality of the video appears that is very, very nice. And this the rear camera, actually here it is an 8 megapixel camera, So I will not suggest you to just take a look and take a screenshot. That looks very odd. But if you want to show up somebody who is sitting in front of you on a video chat, this still works very well. There's no problem with that. So over the hardware perspective, is the configuration is low, but it does the job for a very regular user. If you're a power user, like a lot of video editing and on, this is not just for you. I would say for a regular user or a bit mid-range heavy user, this will do very nicely. Sorry, I'm just addicted to attaching it all the time. I'll just keep it here. So said that, now we'll move on to the next topic, which is using it as a tablet. So how do they find using it as a tablet? Now, if I keep off the keyboard, this is what you get. You have everything here: the micro SD card and the screen, the virtual keyboard, the front and the rear camera, SD calling. Where's the audio jack? Yeah, there's the audio jack right here, which you can use. So using this as a tablet was very comfortable, but it's a little bigger if I compare it with Nexus 7. Obviously, this is not made as a tablet, but you can actually, it's a feature. Tablet is a feature inside this. So if you want to just do a casual browsing, let's say you are in a flight or you are just laying down in your bed and you want to just browse and find out what's going on in your Twitter and Facebook and do random browsing, and everything works. Now since it's Windows 8, so you'll find all desktop and Windows 8 applications, Windows Store, everything working for you now. You can do gaming with this. You can launch a couple of games. I'm not very game freak, at least not on PC as of now. I do it on Xbox. So you can play casual gaming and all. You might find it a little bigger, but since this is lightweight, this is very light. You can just throw it like this and still catch it and still don't drop it. Don't take a risk, but so so this is very casual. This is very lightweight, and you can still use it as a tablet and do all the browsing and the media consumption work. Now if I take it using it as a tablet, sorry, I'm going to do it again. There you go. So using it as a tablet. Now how did I find using it as a tablet? Now let's say or let's take my case just one here. I haven't used a touch-based tablet till now. This is my first one. So I've used it in my desktop. So I'm keen on using the mouse itself everywhere. But with this, I was actually using touch all the time. So, but it took me a bit to get used to it. So, this is a combination of keyboard and touch and again touchpad. So I didn't use to touch screen often. I used to use keyboard and all. I find it a bit difficult because this touchpad is not good. I'll tell you about that later. So I started moving on towards the screen and started using swiping and downloading and all those stuff, all using touch. So as I used touch more, I was using less of keyboard except while typing, and slowly the experience was smoothing out. So if you start with this and if you haven't used the touch-based interface anytime before on a screen on a Windows machine, you will take a bit of time and then you will get adjusted to it. Let's talk about the keyboard. How is the keyboard? Again, the keyboard has the same thing. This is not a full keyboard, so if you're used to a full keyboard like I have one here, you will have a problem when starting with it. But slowly, when you understand the function keys over here and how to use them, you will be actually very fluent with this. This will be faster as time goes, and this is very light. This is very good at typing. There's no problem in that. It's flat, it's sleek, and you can type very well here. Now let's talk about touchpad. I don't know why HP is not good at them. Dell, I had no problem since 5 years. Sorry, I'm not comparing with any other product or favoring one of the products, but that's my experience. I've used Acer before, I've used Dell, and I've used a couple of laptops, but Dell was very nice. This has some problem with the roughness, so when you start with it, you'll actually feel tickling with your finger, and you might feel like something is wrong with your finger. So it takes a bit of time for adjusting to the key. The touchpad is so big. I don't know why it's so big, because you have touch here already. I don't know why it's the reason it's big, but you'll have to get used to it. Plus the response which come from the clicks here, they're not really very good, honestly. I don't know why, but SP has to do something about this section to make their the whole laptop or even the ultrabook, the experience very very nice. So this will take a bit used to it, but if you use touch often, that's well done anyway, because you can do that. And if you have any problem, I shouldn't be saying that, but you can use external mouse if you feel a lot of problem with that. That's all I have to say about the touchpad. So that's my experience about the touchpad, and using it as a keyboard and as a tablet, and it's a bit heavy now. So using it as a combination was very very smooth. Let's talk about sound quality now. Sound is sadly very low for me, at least for this, and I am guessing it's the same, because it's not very. Oh, it has another SD port which I ignored, so take this into account. Sorry for the disruption, but this is always a distraction for me. So talking about the sound part, sound is like it's low, so I will suggest, if you're using this, use it along with a earphone to get a proper sound experience. Because even though I put it on full volume, the speakers, the problem is, I'll tell you what is the problem. The problem is the speakers are here. Let me just take it out for you. Yep, so I'll just keep this here. So the problem is the speakers are on the lower side, like you can see here, and they get blocked. I'll do that again. And they get really really blocked when you actually use it with the keyboard. So there goes the problem. This is all blocked, so half of the sound goes off. This is a design flaw in my opinion, honestly. But if you take this off, and start using it, you'll get more sound than normal when using the keyboard. So when using with the keyboard, you actually need to use the earphones, but this will do without the keyboard. But even then, if you're in a public place or listening to something private, you just need to use your earphone. But overall, it has Beats audio. Let me tell you, you have a Beats audio logo right here, so it has Beats audio with it, so you can just plug in your phone and listen to that. Everything, it's good. The overall sound quality is good, but overall the volume is less. Okay, said all the stuff. Let me do that again. So let's talk about the price. That was the biggest bummer for me. I expected it to be around like 45-50k, but this is priced at 60,000 Indian price. In fact, one of my friend calculated, and he said you can import it from US and still pay less price when compared with India. I don't know why this laptop is priced, or this ultrabook is priced 60,000, because it has less power. It's like, it shouldn't be priced at 60k, even though if it would have been like 50k, I'd have bought this. Honestly, I need a laptop now. I would like to buy one, but this price is what pushes me back and says no, it's very costly. From a normal user perspective also, he can not get this kind of feature, combination of this and the portability and everything. But if someone is looking for a powerful machine, he will not buy this. He's going to buy something else. But again, if I think from a different perspective, like at least for me, if I'm very happy with this tablet or laptop or whatever you call it from last 30 days. It doesn't heat up, it does my job. Obviously the processing power is different issue, but overall it does my job. I can carry it, and the battery life is, I have never seen such a strong battery life in any of the laptops, or 3 or 4 laptops I've used. Very impressive battery life, charges up very fast, and overall does the job. So even though the price is very costly, but if you have that kind of money, you won't be disappointed. That you can trust on. Now in this video, like my video is almost over, so in this video I've kept away some of the points specifically, intentionally. I want you to ask me questions about this laptop. What do you want to know about this HP NVX2? What do you want to know any of the features? This is there for me for next 2-3 days, and if you have any questions and all, please let me know and I'll answer to you. Thanks for watching the video. That's HP NV X2.